Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Precalculus class. You guys had a quiz yesterday. Today, you're going to have a little bit of a day off. I'm just going to go over the quiz problems, show you the solutions. I will be grading the quiz today, and hopefully, I'll get the grades to you by next Monday. Um, and if there's anybody that needs to take a retake, I will arrange a time next week for it. I'm not sure what time we'll do it, but we'll try and do a retake sometime next week. So, today I'm just going to go through the solutions for the quiz. So, all you have to do is watch this video. Let's start with number one. Find the determinant of this matrix. All right, so we have a matrix. All right, it's 4, 6, 1, 3. All right, and remember, to find the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix, all we have to do is multiply 4 by 3, that's 12, and then we subtract 6 times 1, which is 6. All right, and we will get an answer of 6. 12 minus 6 is 6, so the answer should be this one. All right. That's number one. All right, let's look at number two now. All right, number two, we have this matrix 4, 6, 1, 3. I'm not going to. It's the same matrix. All right. Now I'm not going to write it down again, but remember the first step to finding the inverse of a matrix is you need to first find the determinant of the matrix. All right. So if we want to call this matrix matrix A, then the determinant of the matrix is 6. We already found that in number 1, in question number 1. All right. And then remember that the inverse of a matrix is always 1 over the determinant, which in this case is 6, and then multiplied by, and we have to do this trick where we switch these two numbers. So this will be 3 up here. This will be a 4 down here. And then these two numbers change signs. So they are positive right now. Now they're going to become -6, -1. All right. So this is the inverse. Now, if we want to put it in a final matrix form, we just need to multiply everything in here by 1 over 6. So what's that going to finally look like? We're going to have 3 over 6. So this is going to be 1/2. Then -6 over 6, which is -1. Then down here, we're going to have -1 over 6. -1 over 6. And then 4 over 6, which is 2 over 3. So this is our final answer. All right, 1 over 2, -1, -1/6, 2/3, which is B. All right, so B is our final answer. Next, let's look at number 3. Number 3, we just need to find the resulting matrix. So we're going to do some multiplication and addition. So this is pretty easy. All we have to do is this first matrix, we're going to multiply everything by -3. So let's write that out. All right, -3 times 2 is -6. -3 times -1 is +3. -3 times -7 is +21. And -3 times 3 is -9. Okay? So that's the first part. Then we're going to add, and we're going to do 3 times everything in this matrix. All right? So 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times -4 is -12. 3 times -5 is -15. And then 3 times -1 is -3. And then finally, we just need to add these two together. All right, just add them together. So -6 plus 0 is -6. 21 plus -12 is 9. 3 plus -15 is -12. And -9 plus -3 is also -12. So our final answer is this -9, -6, 9, -12, -12, which is answer D. So that is the final answer. Let's go number 4. All right, in this problem, all we need to do is multiply these two matrices. All right, we have this one times this one. And remember, you can only multiply two matrices if the columns, we have 1, 2, 3 columns, is the same number as the rows in the second one. All right, so the first matrix, you need to count the columns, 1, 2, 3. The second matrix, you count the rows, 1, 2, 3. It's the same number, so we can multiply it. And we also know that the answer, the resulting matrix, right, is going to have 2 rows and 2 columns. So our answer over here is going to end up having 2 rows and 2 columns. All right, so we're going to have 2 rows. Now, how do we find it? We're going to go 2 times 1, which is 2. And then plus -3 times -2, which is 6, so plus 6. -1 times 3 is -3, so -3. All right, so that was the first row, first column. So first row, first column. Now we want to find first row, second column. So we're going to go the first row times the second column. So 2 times 2 is 4. -3 times -3 is +9. And then -1 times 0 is 0. So that's it. All right. So that's the first row. Now let's look at the second row. So we want the second row, first column. So we're going to go 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times -2 is -8. And -2 times 3 is -6. Okay. And then now we want the second row, second column. Second row, second column. So 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times -3 is -12. And then -2 times 0 is 0. So that's it. All right, so now we can just add all those numbers together. And we're going to get 2 plus 6 is 8 minus 3 is 5. So we have a 5 here. 4 plus 9 is 13. 3 minus 8 is -5. Minus 6 is -11. 6 minus 12 is -6. So we have 5, 13, -11, -6, which is this one, B. Okay, next, number 5. We need to find the determinant of this matrix, all right? Now remember, to find the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix, what we do is we take the first number in the first row and then multiply it by the determinant of this little matrix here, all right? Then we're going to take minus this number times the determinant of a matrix if we cross out these two, this row and this column. All right, anyway, we'll just do it. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with -3. So we start with -3. And then we're going to multiply that by if we cross this row and this column out, we're going to have 0, -2, -1, 2. So it's 0 minus 2, because -2 times -1 is +2. So 0 minus 2 is -2. Okay? And then we're going to subtract the 2. All right? Subtract 2 times. And if we cross this one out and this one out, we have 4 times 2, which is 8. And then we're going to minus -2 times 3, which is -6. So it's going to be 8 minus -6, which is 8 plus 6. So that's 14. Okay? And then finally, we're going to plus. Remember, it's plus minus plus. It's plus, and this is a negative, so it's a negative, minus 2, and then plus 1 times. And we're going to cross this row out, this column out. So we have 4 times -1, which is -4, minus 0 times 3, which is 0. So -4 minus 0 is -4. So this is -4. All right, and now we can just calculate that. -3 times -2 is +6. Minus 2 times 14 is 28. And then plus 1 times -4 is -4. Okay, so we got 6 minus 28 is -22. Minus 4 is -26. All right, so the answer should be -26 is the determinant. All right, which is this one. All right, next. Next one, we need to use Cramer's rule, and this is for a 2x2 system of equations. All right, so this is number 6. Now, how do we use Cramer's rule? You should remember that when we do Cramer's rule for a 2x2, we're going to have x is going to equal, and on the top, well, let's first talk about the bottom. The bottom is the coefficient matrix, which is 2, -4, 3, 2. So it's 2, -4, 3, 2. All right, and then what's on the top? Well, it's the same thing as this, except for we take the x's out because we're doing x right now. So we take the x's out and we put the constants here, -2 and 3. All right, so it's going to be -2 and 3 right here. And then this row, this column stays the same. So it's just -4, 2. All right, and that's it. So so how do we find this determinant? Well, it's -2 minus 2. I'm sorry. -2 times 2, which is -4, and then minus -4 times 3, which is -12. So it's -4 plus 12. All right, -4 plus 12 is 8. All right, so we have 8 on top. And then what are we going to have on the bottom? Well, 2 times 2 is 4 minus -12, which is plus 12. So it's 4 plus 12, which is 16. So it's 8 over 16, which is 1 over 2. So we know that x is going to equal 1/2. Well, we can already see what our answer is going to be, but let's go ahead and finish it. How do we find the y coordinate? Well, it's the same. 2 over 3, -4 over 2 on the bottom. And on the top, we're going to write this one again, but now we're going to replace the y column. All right, so -2, 3 is going to go in the y column. And then the x column is going to stay the same, 2, 3. Okay, so what do we end up here? 6 minus -6, right? 6 minus -6. Well, that's 6 plus 6, which is 12. And on the bottom is going to be the same thing again. So this is the same as this, so it's 16. We already know this is 16. Well, 12 over 16 is 3 over 4. All right, so now we have it. We know that x equals 1/2, y equals 3 over 4. So our answer is this one, B. Okay, we're almost done now. Last problem. This is the one that's going to take a lot more work, right? But it's not too bad, right? So let's look at number 7. Number 7, we have let's write down our augmented matrix. All right, how do we write an augmented matrix? Well, remember we write the coefficients. So it's 2, -3, 4, 2, -3, 4. And then we draw a line here, and then we write -15. And we're going to do that for all of them. So 5, 1, -2, 5, 1, -2, 12. And then 1, -1, 1, -4. 1, -1, 1, negative 4. Okay. So this is our augmented matrix. Now remember, we want to change this matrix into row echelon form. Row echelon form. What is row echelon form? Remember, row echelon form means that we want all of these numbers to be 1, 1, 1, 1. And we want all of these numbers down here below the ones to be zeros, okay? That's row echelon form. Remember, in order to do that, we have to use row operations, all right? So we're going to go ahead and start that with this one, and let's watch how it goes. Now, let me take off that blue and green real quick. All right, so the first step is we want to get a 1 right here. That's the first step. And how do we get a 1 right there? Well, we need to use a row operation, and there are 3 row operations we can use. We can switch rows. If we can switch rows, then switch rows, because usually that's the easiest. Next, the other row operations we can use are multiplying a row by a number. All right, so I could multiply everything by the same number. So 2 times 1, 2 times negative 1, 2 times 1, 2 times negative 4. That's a row operation. All right. Now, we could use that here as well, but we'll talk about that in a second. The other thing we can do is when we multiply one row by a number and we add it to another row. Those are our 3 ones. If you can do the first one, which is just switch, then do the first one. Now here, we have a 1 right there. So let's switch it. If we move this row up here and this row down here, we did it. We made first step work. All right. So let's do that. All right. So the way we write that is we're going to say new row 1, which is big R1, is going to equal old row 3. All right. This is old row 3, and we want it to be our new row 1. And the old row 3 is going to equal, the new row 3 is going to equal old row 1. All right, so we're going to use this operation. So how do we do it? We're just going to switch them. So 1, negative 1, 1, 4. Then 5, 1, negative 2, 12. And then 2, negative 3, 4, negative 15. All right? So that's it. That's our first row operation. We just switched those 2 rows, and we did it. We got 1 here. The next step is we need to get zeros below this. We need to get zeros below this 1. So 0 here, 0 there. Okay, how are we going to do that? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this top row by negative. Let's look at this row. We want to get a 0 here. Well, we can multiply this row by negative 5 because we have a 1 here. And this will become negative 5. And we add it to here and we'll get a 0. So the way we write that is we say our new row 2 is going to equal negative 5 times our row 1. And then we add it to the old row 2. And that's going to give us a 0 here. But we also want to get a 0 here. And we're going to do that by saying our new row 3 is going to equal negative 2 times this one, negative 2 times row 1, and then add it to row 3. So we're going to negative 2 times this, and then add it to that, and we get a 0. So let's do this row operation now. Do it right here. All right, so the row 1 is not going to change. It's still going to be 1, negative 1, 1, and then 4. But row 2 is going to change. Row 2 is going to be negative 5 times this plus this. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5 plus 5 is 0. And then let's go to the next one. Negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5, and then add 1, and you get 6. And then let's go here. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. And then plus negative 2. Negative 5 plus negative 2 is negative 7. And then the last row, the last column is negative 5 times 4, which is negative 20. And then we add 12. So it's going to be negative 20 plus 12, which is negative 8. All right, so we have this now. And now let's look at our third row. We're going to have negative 2 times this, which is negative 2, and then add 2, so it's going to be 0. All right, then let's look at the next one. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2 plus negative 3. Well, 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1. All right, and then let's look at the next one. We have 1. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus 4. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. And then finally, right here, we're going to have negative 2 times 4, which is negative 8. And then we're going to add that to negative 15. Negative 8 plus negative 15 is negative 23. All right, so we did it, and we got zeros right here. Excellent. Now, our next step is we want to get a 1. We want a 1 right here. All right, that's our next step. We got 1, 0, 0. Now we want a 1, 0 here. But before we get 0 here, let's first do a 1 here. Now, how can we get a 1 there? Well, there's a couple ways. We could multiply 6 by 1 over 6. So we can multiply everything in this row by 1 over 6. That will give us a 1 here. And we can do that. It will work. But I think it will be easier for us if we, because that's going to make fractions. 7 over 6, 8 over 6. All right, it'll get a little messy. I think it'll be easier. What if we just switch these two rows and multiply this row by negative 1? All right. If we do that, this will come up here and it'll become a 1. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to say the new row 2 is going to be equal to negative 1 times the old row 3. Okay. That's okay. We can do that because we can switch and we can multiply by a constant. Those are row operations. All right. And then the other thing we need to do is we need to move the row 2 down here. So the new row 3 is going to be the old row 2. All right. So those are our operations that we're going to do. Let's do them real quick. So the top row doesn't change again. 1, negative 1, 1, 4. And then this is going to be, this second row is going to be this row and make it negative. So the negative 1 is going to be positive. The 2 is going to become negative 2. And then the negative 23 is going to become positive 23. All right. And then this row moves down here, becomes 0, 6, negative 7, negative 8. All right. So we did it. We got a 1 here. So now the next step is we want to get a 0 here. And we're going to do the same type of thing that we did up here, where we take this 1, and we're going to multiply it by negative 6 and add it into here. That will give us a 0 here. All right, so the way we write that is we're going to say the new row 3 is going to equal negative 6 times row 2 plus row 3. Negative 6 times this row and plus row 3. All right, so that's going to give us a new matrix. So the top row doesn't change. 1, negative 1, 1, 4. The second row doesn't change. 0, 1, negative 2, 23. But the third row is going to be negative 6 times 1 plus 6. So that's negative 6 plus 6. It becomes 0. This one, negative 6 times 0 is 0. Oh, I shouldn't have put these 2s and 3s up here. They should be down here. I'm sorry. I wrote it wrong. Don't worry about it. All right. 0 times negative 6. I'm sorry. 0 times negative 6 is 0 plus 0 and still 0. And then negative 6 times 1 is negative 6 plus 6 is 0. And then negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. 12 plus negative 7 is 12 minus 7, which is 5. And then finally, right here, we're going to have negative 6 times 23, which is 138. All right, 138, well, negative 138. And then we're going to plus negative 8. Right? Am I doing that right? Negative 6 times 23 is negative 138. And then plus negative 8. So it's going to be negative 100 and... I'm confused. Hold on. 0, 0, 5. Negative 6 times 23 plus negative 8. Is this supposed to be negative? Yeah. Negative 8. Is it negative 8? Negative 138 minus 8 equals negative 146. Doesn't seem right. Is that right? Doesn't feel right. Alright, anyway, that's what I got right now. That doesn't feel right, though. I'm pretty sure that's not right. I did something wrong. I don't know where I went wrong. Where did I go wrong? Dang it. I don't want to pause my recording. What did I mess up on? Hold on. 0, 0, 5, negative 146. That can't be right. 0, 1, negative 2, 23. 0, 1, negative 2, 23. 1, negative 1, 1, 4. 0, 1, negative 2. 0, 1, negative 2, 23. Oh, I'm not going to pause this recording, so you're just going to have to watch me goof off here. I already did this problem in my book, and I got the right answer already. Where did I put it? Dang it. Two, negative 3, 4. Oh, here it is. I did it different here. 0, 1, negative 2. 2, negative 3, 4, negative 15, 5, 1, 1, negative 1, 1, negative 4. 1, negative 1, 1, 4, 5, 1, negative 2, 12, 2, negative 3, 4, negative 15, 1, 0, 6, negative 7, 32. Oh, wait, that's where I messed up. I messed up right here. Dang it. 0, negative 7. Where did I mess up? This isn't supposed to be 8. All right. Negative 5 times row 1 is negative 20 plus 12. Negative 20 plus 12 is negative 8. I'm getting angry. I don't want to waste too much time on this video. What did I mess up on? 0, negative 0, 6, negative 7, 32. 0, -1, 2, -7. Hold on. So row 2 is supposed to be -5 times row 1, which is -20. Oh, wait, this is a -4. That's where I messed up. This is a negative. I didn't write a negative here. Oh, that's where I messed up. Oh, gosh dang it. I forgot to write a negative. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so -5 times -4 is 20. And then plus 12 is 32. So this number right here is supposed to be 32. All right, and then this one, -2 times -4 is 8 plus, so 8, wait a second. Which one did I mess up on? This one right here. -2 times, okay, -2 times -4 is 8 plus -15 is -7. Yep, -7. This should be -7. Jeez, I'm sorry, guys. All right, and then this is switching rows is the correct thing to do. All right, the only problem is that when we switch rows, this, instead of becoming 23, this should become +7. All right, and then this one down here is going to switch. This is going to be 32. All right. Yeah. Okay, and then 1, -6, 1, -4, 0, 1, -2, and then this is 7. And then when you do this, -6 times row 2, which is 7. So -6 times 7 is -42. And then we add 32. -42 plus 32 is -10. So this becomes -10. Gosh, I'm so stupid. Okay. All right, so now we have this, and the final step that we need to do, I just wasted so much time, I'm sorry, is 5 needs to become a 1. And the way we're going to do that is we're just going to multiply everything here, everything in this third row, we're going to multiply by 1/5. All right, so that's going to give us a matrix, all right, if we do, so we're going to have row 3 is going to equal 1/5 times old row 3. All right, which gives us 1, -1, 1, -4, 0, 1, -2, 7. And then 0, 0, 1/5 times 5 is 1. 1/5 times -10 is -2. And that's our final row echelon form matrix. 1, 1, 1 on the diagonal, zeros below. So that's what we wanted. All right, but that's not the final answer. We have to solve this now. This tells us, remember, this is the x's, y's, and the z's. So we know that 1z, z equals -2. That's what this tells us. So we know that z equals -2. And then we look at the next equation. This tells us that y minus 2z equals 7. Y minus 2z equals 7. All right. But what is z? Z is -2. So y minus 2 times -2, which is +4, equals 7, which means y equals 3. All right, so we know y equals 3. We know z equals -2. And then let's look at the final equation, which is x minus y plus z equals -4. All right, but we already know that, so we can write this out. X, we know that y equals 3, so this is x minus 3 plus z, and z is negative 2, so that's minus 2 equals negative 4. Well, that's x minus 5 equals negative 4. That means x equals 1. So our final answer is going to be x equals 1, y equals 3, z equals negative 2. X equals 1, y equals 3, z equals negative 2 is this one, and we are done. I am sorry that I screwed that up and wasted your time. I have to retire. But anyway, look this over. Make sure you have the answers down. We'll do a retake if you didn't get a 60 next week. All right. Bye.